Good evening and welcome to another episode of HinduDad. And this evening we have a phenomenal special guest with us who's going to open a completely different can of worms as opposed to what we're normally used to. So I'm going to hand over to Bob.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing out there today? This evening, we've got a special guest by the name of Detective Sergeant Dibs Dattani, also known as Officer Dibble. So please welcome him to the show.
Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much for the great announcement. I won't say I'm a phenomenal guest, but I'll be what I can.
Well, I think from the stories that we discussed, there's a lot to go through.
That's true.
Firstly, I'd like to apologize, Dibble. I seem to have got your title wrong in our Facebook post earlier today. Sorry for degrading you in any way. You are a detective sergeant of the Metropolitan Police, and I did put you down as just a sergeant, so apologies for that.
It's not degrading,
mate. Give him a slap on the wrist.
We are the same rank. We're one sergeant's a uniform, and then obviously I'm a detective, so it's not degrading. I get paid the same money.
So that's all right.
So yeah, like his first question, how did you get this nickname Dibble? Obviously, there's some of us, when I said it to my dad, I've got Dibble coming on the show. He just looked at me and started laughing, and he was like, what?
Well, you guys are probably young, but you probably don't remember Top Cat, which was a cartoon series
I do.
Late 70s, early 80s, probably early 90s, just about. And on there was an officer called Officer Dibble. And Top Cat was obviously the criminal. And when I was at school, my first day at secondary school, everyone asked us what you wanted to do for a living. And I said I wanted to be a police officer. So at the age of 11, I wanted to be a police officer. And there's the bully from behind me in the class knocks on my head. There's always Dibble. And I looked around, and I didn't know what Dibble was at the time. And I just looked around and said, I like that name. Yeah, okay. And that was it. So ever since then, I had a trilby with Dibble on the hat, walked around, and everyone calls me Dibble, apart from my wife, my mum, and my in-laws, and my work colleagues. Or some call me Dibble, but now some call me Dipesh. So yeah.
How long did it take for you to get them to call you Dipesh over Dibble?
To be honest with you, I mean, with nicknames in policing, when I was at Hendon, they asked if Dibble's okay, because nicknames are sort of a no-no at the moment. So it was Dibble straight away from day one at Hendon. Whenever I moved departments, I've always said my name's Dibble, and now I'm Dipesh because I'm in a professional university environment where I'm going to be going. So it's now Dipesh. So a lot of my new colleagues call me Dipesh. A lot of my old colleagues and my good friends of mine have just called me Dibble throughout my career.
Okay, so that being said, like, what made you said that you've always wanted to be a police officer from a young age, like, what even brought that to your attention?
You know what? I think it's just doing something for the community at a young age. I wanted to give something back. It's with Asians. It's not classed as a professional career. Police. Yeah. I'm not the doctor. I'm not the dentist. But it is a professional career. And one of the reasons I've come on this show is the main reason is to get recruitment. Is to really recruit people. We need Asians to represent the police force that we serve in London and across the United Kingdom. And that's one of the reasons, is to trying to get people to look at the Met Police website. We're now just about launched a degree. So it's the degree holder direct entry. So if you've got a degree, you do a 2-year scheme, or you do a police constable degree apprentice, 3 years, and both of them you get paid at the same time as doing a degree. So it's professionalised. You're getting paid. You live in London, so you've got no debts. I mean, I'm sure both of you come out of university with, probably not you two, because you probably earned £3,000. I
was quite lucky. I got away with it just before it went up to £3,000 as well. But yeah, like obviously the difference in cost these days is phenomenal.
Yeah. So my daughter's just coming out of university, and if we hadn't paid for her, she'd have a debt of like £40,000 at the age of 21. Where new police officers won't have that. If you become a police officer, you won't have that debt. Yeah. The degree is paid for by the police.
which makes a massive difference as well, especially in today's society and day and age. Because
absolutely.
Well, let's face it, who is making money at the moment?
Well, you know, and one of the things is coding is obviously I'm quite lucky because I've got quite a secure job, and being a police officer is a secure job. It is professionalism, it is professionalised, and it is having a good job.
So, with that in mind, then, when you first joined the police force, it must have been very different from what it is like being in the force today, right?
Oh, very much. The job changes a lot, and you know, when I first joined, there wasn't the work-life balance that you had as a dad. So, you know, I missed my daughter's first year. She was born in 1999, and I'd been in the police sort of 7 years, and I missed her first year, literally, because work was busy, work-life balance wasn't there. I had a horrible line manager, to be honest with you. He didn't understand parenting or anything like that, and I missed her first. You know, although the first word she said was "Dad," which was great,
and you missed it.
Well, I missed it, but obviously she only said "Dad" is because my wife, who obviously supported me throughout, always used to say, "Dad will be here, Dad will be here, Dad, and Dad will be home soon." So all she remembered was Dad. So the first word she said was "Dad," but I was never there for the first year, which, you know, I regret. But now there's a lot of work-life balance, a hell of a lot of work-life balance. There's a lot more support, diversities. I've been up there certainly since '92 with you know, the sad killing of Stephen Lawrence. Diversity's been promoted a hell of a lot more now, and we've got various associations, including the Met Police Hindu Association. I'll give them a plug in while I'm here as well, because they do a lot, you know. And
so tell us a bit more about what they do, because the other day you were saying that there's events and functions and things like that are being held.
Yeah. I mean, so they were established in 2002, and the first time they were established was through one of the temples in North London got vandalised. And we obviously had some Hindu officers who went there in order to support the temple and give advice and support with victim support, etc. And from 2002, and the current commissioner, Cressida Dick, was sort of a very advocate of the Met Police Hindu Association. Now, we had the Black Police Association. Obviously, they've been around for a long time. The Met Police Hindu Association, 2002. We have events, Diwali events. So last year we had held it at New Scotland Yard. If you want to become a member, anyone can join. It's free of charge. You can have internal or external members. So if you want to join, just contact the Met Police Hindu Association. We do Diwali events. That was at New Scotland Yard last year. Online this year was because of COVID. It was online.
So how did you guys manage that transition to bring that party online? What is it that you guys did to get it online?
Well, this year online we had a dance which was pre-recorded, and it included Mr. Rishi, our Chancellor, our Exchequer. Oh, really? Yeah, one of his daughter was on in the dance, so we got that pre-recorded. We had a live bhajans, so he was Harish. I think I'm becoming his name now, but he was live. So we done all the presentations. All the senior officers done the presentations. He then came online, done Hanuman Chalisa, done a couple of bhajans. Then we done the aarti, and then we done a few more presentations, and then we done fireworks as well. So obviously,
generally, like you say, this is something that you guys would do face to face. It would be an event, and you know, do you guys sell tickets to that? People can come along.
No, it's free of charge. It's
free of charge as well.
Yeah, it's free of charge, so people can come along. Obviously, because it's a Scotland Yard, it's limited.
Yeah.
But what we are planning to do next year,
you have to have a CRB check to attend?
Well, you have to be a member. No, you have to be a member of the MPHA. So most of it time is yes. I mean, obviously, yes, you would do.
You're already authorised and vetted.
Yeah, DBS now, though. DBS.
Oh, the DBS.
CRV, yeah. But obviously, next year, what we plan to do is hold more events around recruitment. Looking at a dinner and dance in Chigwell. We're looking at a Rangoli event. We're looking at gazelles and things like that. So we're trying to get the community back again. And we go around recruiting. So last November, we were on Diwali on the square. And if you guys have been to Diwali on the square, we were there. We had a stall there looking at recruiting. We had police cadets. So my son's a police cadet. And we went out just basically recruiting people.
And like the other day, we were even discussing this, like, so the question that I posed to Dibble was, do you see a difference in your son's mentality and behavior because of the fact that he's joined the police cadets?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's very mature, and obviously, Bob and I are related. We're cousins, but if you can have a conversation with Devon, and he's very mature for his age, 16. He hangs around with the right people, not mixing with the wrong crowd, and giving him that discipline. Police cadets is all about discipline. From the age of 10, you can do the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which obviously is a qualification. They pay for it; it's free of charge, and they take you through bronze, silver, gold, and at the end, you could do assignments. And he's excelled. He's excelled in society, in life, without a shadow of a doubt, and he won lots of awards. And it looks good for the CV as well. When they go to university, what have you done? Learn about life. What have you done? It looks good on their CV, I think, personally.
No, I mean, even when I was younger, I was a scout. I was, went through Cubs, Scouts, and the life experiences that it teaches you is, you might not appreciate at the time, but definitely further on in life, you start to appreciate the certain tips and tricks that you picked up along the way. Do you know what I mean? Well,
one of the other reasons I joined the police was obviously Boys Brigade. I was in the Boys Brigade, disciplined organisation, wearing a uniform all the time, and I had a great life from the age of, me and my brother had a great life from the age of 11 to 17. It's a family, it's a form of a family in the Boys Brigade. Went away every year to camp. We done drill, we done football, we done cricket, and we had a good laugh. And it's that discipline as well, which is similar to cadets. And I think that's what's missing in society at the moment. We're losing that in society at the moment.
So in terms of, obviously, you wanted to come on and speak about obviously the police force and joining it, etc. What's the kind of the thing to kind of get people to join? What's out there for them? What's the benefits of joining it? Apart from obviously helping out,
I think the benefits we can cover slightly later on. I think what's going to sell it, or what's going to appeal to people more, is the kind of life experiences you've gauged yourself personally through having this opportunity and the path you chose in life, right?
Yeah.
There were some events that you told us about the other day, and I'm not sure how far into detail you can go, but you've met certain prominent names. And
absolutely. I mean, my police officer over 25 years, and first 12 years you do, just to give you the pathway, first 2 years you do on the beat. You're in uniform, you walk up and down the streets of London and you're on the beat and you're policing, doing calls from calls and etc. I've always wanted to be a detective. That's the route I wanted to go down. So from about 18 months, I started going into robbery squads, burglary squads, and criminal-minded investigations, etc. So from 18 months to about 5 years, I was training to be a detective, so TDC, trainee detectives. And just on that, you can come into the police now as a direct entry DC. As long as you've got a degree, you can come as a direct entry DC. So you don't have to block the streets of London anymore. You come straight as if you're into investigations and things like that, and that minded, you can come into direct entry DC. And that's a different pathway, but all you need is a degree. Any degree. It doesn't matter what it is, it's a degree. So I've done that for up to 5 years. And then I started handling sources. And then after about 11 years, 12 years, I got promoted to a detective sergeant. Okay. Now you say I've been a detective sergeant for over 14 years, but it's the best rank. And that's the reason. Yeah, I took the inspector's exam once. My daughter will remind you. I took the inspector exam once and I failed it. She will remind me of this all the time. So, it's a multiple choice. And then obviously up to year 12 and 18, I initially started at Walden Forest, Leighton, and then I went to Hackney. Obviously, Hackney has its own diverse community, different types of policing. And again, I stayed in CID, and done the source unit and things like that. And then I wanted to join counter-terrorism. And I said to my wife, Parol, I said, I want to join counter-terrorism. I said, look, just wait for the kids are old and settled, and then I won't stop you. You can do what you like, and then I'll just carry on and say, I want, it's not a problem.
But she must have been worried at the time as well, because joining a counter-terrorism task force or role kind of opens you up to different things in life as well, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, being a police officer is things. I mean, I got beaten up when I was in the first 5 years. So someone dislocated my shoulder. He's a dangerous role. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not dangerous in any way, shape, or form. And you've got to be a certain kind of character. You've got to be thick-skinned. Yeah, because people will come, and I'll come back to I'll give you an example of that later on. But so anyway, my kids started growing up, and my son went to primary school at the age of 5. Then I joined counter-terrorism. There's a role international liaison section for counter-terrorism. Basically dealing with local police officers from international backgrounds in London. I thought that sounds like a good job. thinking no CT background, no cancer background in my life. So I thought, never going to get this job, but let's put it. And lo and behold, I got the job. And I thought, oh, great. Okay. And
what do I do now?
Well, to be honest with you, I love talking. I love networking. I can go in a room. If I don't know anyone, I'll just start talking to them. Whatever, and as soon as I say I'm a police officer, they stop talking to me. But that's but so I thought.
Do you normally get the opposite, where they're questioning you on what legalities?
Well, once they find out, exactly. Once they find out I'm a police officer, they do start going, "Oh, I got stopped. The traffic. What do you think?" I think, and it's always the same question. But I joined International, and I've had some really good opportunities for 6.5 years. I've travelled the world. Been to every continent apart from Australasia, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the time, I was the American liaison officer, and Secret Service, doing a lot of work for them. And Barack Obama came in town. I got a phone call and said, "Do you want to meet Barack Obama?" And I said, "Yes, please, absolutely no problem at all." Because you need to be here at this time. So the school, when Cameron and Barack Obama were playing table tennis. School in South London. Don't know if you remember, 2011. They said be there for 3:30. I get there at 2:30. Now, Asian bloke in a rucksack in South London. It's not good. With a lot of police officers around, it's not good. So I spoke to the local police, said, "This is what I'm here for." And they said, "No, that's fine, no problem at all." And I got the opportunity to meet Barack Obama, which, the proudest moment in my policing career, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, you're not going to top that. And also, I've met. Again, through the Secret Service, had a photo with Hillary Clinton and also Bill Clinton. Now, Bill Clinton's the nicest bloke you'll ever meet. And the reason for that is 2 of us had the photo, me and my boss. In fact, I was going to the theatre that night with my wife. And it was like, I had to meet her at 7:30. And we still haven't had a photo by 7 o'clock. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And I managed to get it. And my boss goes first. I know, yeah. My boss goes first. Camera, flash. No, I went first. Camera, no flash. My boss went second. Camera, flash. And then Bill Clinton turned around and said, "When we took our photos, the flash didn't go off. Do you want another photo?" I'm thinking, "Yes, please." Camera. I'm glad he did, because the first photo I took with him never went off.
Yeah.
Got it. So such a nice bloke. So I've had some really good times in the police, and certainly in the last 10 years, I've made some really good friends across the pond. Today's Thanksgiving, so my family think I'm American. Let's put it that way.
Well, actually, that brings us on to another point. We would like to wish our friends across the pond. There's many of us that have got a network out there that want to wish them all a happy Thanksgiving. So fair play.
Absolutely. I got up this morning, text all my friends across, friends and colleagues across the pond here, Thanksgiving, and because I made some really good friends. But yeah, I've been lucky. I've been really lucky in terms of certainly the last few years. And now I've moved into a new role around learning and development, but certainly been very lucky.
So tell us a bit more about the next role then, learning and development.
Well, so I'm going to be managing the new recruits. So in January, like I said, they've got degrees now. So everyone who now joins the police will have to go for the degree. Or if you've already got a degree, then you get it. So all paid for. So if you want to go for a degree side of it, £29,000 a year, not bad for a starting salary.
Not bad at all.
Certainly a lot better than a lot of starting salaries out there. And if you've already got a degree, it's £31,000. So, again, starting salary, you're getting paid that from day one as soon as you join. I'll be their supervisor.
Yeah.
Support, welfare, guidance, where they're going wrong, what they're doing wrong for the first 17 weeks until they go to their relevant police station. And I'll remain in contact with them throughout that 17 weeks.
So for the first time in perhaps the majority of your career, you're going to be based in one location?
Yeah. University of East London is where I'm going to be based. How
does that make you feel?
Oh, well, location's great because it's like 30 minutes from my house. So travel-wise, I've been travelling for an hour, 2 hours. Initially at counter-terrorism, I was at West Brompton, an hour and a half, near enough. There, an hour and a half back. That's 3 hours a day. So working at University of East London, again, a diverse community. So it's good. I'm looking forward to it. It's a new challenge, and it's something that I can develop. And it's the future. That you
can make your own, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's the future, And I do urge any Indians, Hindus out there, even Asians, whoever's watching this, join the police. It's not a bad career. It's a secure career.
Let's go further into this then, because this begs to ask the question that what is the numbers behind it? Like, obviously, you're saying that there's a need for more Asian officers.
Yeah.
What's the statistical numbers between like actual present Asian influence within the police at the moment, like male or female ratio?
Yeah, absolutely. So October 9th, 2019, we had 757 Asian officers. So that could be any background, you know, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, etc. But sure. 757, not a lot.
What does that compare to actual recruitment in the year? Officers.
That I don't know about the recruit. I think
that's a slightly different
in terms of the Hindu Association. Yeah, slightly different. But in the last year, the Hindus we've increased by 10% in the last year. If that's from doing all the recruitments and things like that, so over 10%. So even if we get 10% from this thing, we'll still increase the representation of policing. And that's what we're looking at. And I know it's not being a doctor, a solicitor, or a dentist or anything like that. But it is it is a good job. It's a secure job, and you can excel, you can promote, you can go to the next rank up, and who never knows, we might have an Asian commissioner in the forthcoming future.
Well, I don't think there's a single one of us that doesn't watch some form of crime or mystery drama because of the fact that it's suspense and thrilling, right? So everyone's already got that nose within them kind of thing. Like me and my wife watch all these programs all the time. We're glued. Like we were talking about the other day, like what is your style of preference when it comes to crime drama, right?
Yeah.
When I said Chicago PD, you're like, no, I'm not into that, but I'm into this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I love spy films. I love spy movies, anything spy, anything intelligence, etc. That's my background. It's great. The Bill. I used to love the Bill. There you go. Yeah. The Bill was great. Yeah. So, but
they need to bring that back.
Yeah, well, they should do. Go back to 757 in 2019. Of that, 184 are females. So not a lot. What we're looking at, 20%, just under 20%.
Roughly that much, yeah.
Roughly that much. So we are looking for both Asian plus Asian females, to represent it. In terms of this year, so in a year. So 2020, as of October 2020, we've got 811 Asian officers now. So that's an increase of 60. Yeah, so just under 9% or 10%, like we said. And out of that, we've got 209. So again, 25% are female.
So it's slowly building, but we just want to try and level and balance out the playing field.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that to 1,000. I mean, we've got 32,000 police officers in London.
Yeah.
Which represent, we are the largest police force in the UK.
But when you think about it, if there's 32,000 police officers in London and less than 1,000 of them come from our communities, that's a massive shortfall.
It is a massive shortfall. But again, like I said, Jetty, it's because parents, society doesn't look at it as a professional position.
Well, this is the can of worms, right? And this is what is the main thing. So I said it to you the other day, like, generally, as a younger, I was told, go to school, go to university, get yourself a good job, IT, legal, doctorate, something of that stature.
Yes.
And what we're asking is, well, not even asking, what we're saying is those aren't the only end goals and objectives, because there's plenty of other vocations here that will leave you completely adequately stable and supported in life without having to go down that same route.
Correct. So you said go to school. Yep, you could do that anyway. Get educated, you do that anyway. Now you can get educated with a degree and get a job.
Yeah,
without having to pay for it.
Without having to pay for it and the debt. Asian
and
mentality.
The fact of the matter is, like, you look at doctors as well. Like, there's a large number and percentage of people that are going and studying nursing or other sectors that just can't find jobs within the sector that they study for.
Yeah, and they're stressful jobs.
Yeah, and Bob, you're a prime example of this. Like, you were saying you studied business and management, right?
Business and law.
Business and law. Yeah. But the fact is, there's so many people that you studied with that.
Oh yeah. They studied, like we look at the business management course that was at uni, because of my business modules, it kind of went over, and the amount of people that did that, but they've graduated. Some of them are in random fields altogether, like doing things like estate agency or, I know a few people that have gone into retail jobs, like higher up positions, managers and stuff, but still not within the field of what they graduated in.
Yep.
And, you know, sometimes people just go, you know, people say, especially with our community, people say, oh, let's go to university, you know, get a degree, you know, you'll get a good job, you know, this will happen. That's not how it's all going. It's not the way it's going. And, you know,
it's a picture perfect life that doesn't really exist, isn't it?
But then look at COVID.
That's the point.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to doctors, opticians, dentists, then, you know, you're going to make your own life. You're going to get a job. Absolutely. You start at a low level, but you work your way up. Yeah. But if you look at COVID and universities now, having a degree is not going to help you because there's no jobs out there. Yeah. No. And this is it,
especially with the way that the world is changing at the moment. The schematic and blueprint of the way that companies operate is changing on a weekly basis just to align themselves with how they can continue to operate now. Dibble, I've got a question for you from Thomas Wood, and Tom was on the show with us a couple of weeks ago. But his question is, do you think that people don't join the force due to wages?
I just read that myself, and you know what, like I just said, 29,000 starting wage and 31,000 starting wages is a lot better than some of the starting wages out there I can think of. Teaching for a start is 22, I believe, and that's nursing's a lot less. Nursing's about 18 to 19,000 pounds. Doctors, I don't know, I can't quote on that. So yes, they are low wages, but obviously we get paid for what we do. I personally thought we obviously should get paid more, but is paying more the answer? Probably the answer is no. I think the pay scales were there. The government looked at it and said, "Police is what we think police should get." I mean, we look at the spending review yesterday. Nurses, doctors, rightly so, get to pay rise. They haven't got a pay freeze. But why haven't the police? Why haven't the LAS? Why haven't the London Fire Brigade? We've still been working through COVID. We've still been doing exactly the same thing, but there's been a pay freeze for us. And obviously, if you're earning less than £24,000, they're going to give you a £250 pay rise. And I just think it's probably a kick in the teeth. I mean, rightly so, nurses and doctors, you know, through COVID, they've worked their asses off. Pardon my French, etc. But they have. You know, without them, we you know, they're very good. The NHS, God bless them. Yeah, and I agree, but is wages an answer? I don't know.
But does the risk and reward match up for you?
I've had a great career. I've been proud to be a police officer, and I've had a really good career. I've never even thought about the money. Let's put it that way. I've had a nice, comfortable life. Never thought about the money. Yeah, I get a nice pension at the end of it, which is always good. Yeah, so my reward comes after my career.
So just going a bit further back.
To be honest, though, before we move forward, though, that statement in itself is something to talk about, because of the fact is you're still getting a pension at the end of the day as well. And there's a lot of companies that aren't able to offer pensions anymore.
Correct. Yeah, it's a secure career. As long as you uphold with the professional behaviours and the professional standards of a police officer and don't do anything stupid, you're never going to lose your job. You see, and that's the good thing about it. And throughout my career, that's what I've done. And there's a reward at the end. Yeah. We all got to work for the rest of our lives, let's be honest. And some pension raises are going up to 67, 70, 75, whatever it will be by the time youngsters, my kids, certainly Devon, will go up. It will be 60, 70, 75, whatever. There is always a reward, you know, and it is a secure job.
And then going back to the conversation slightly before this, do you think the cultural expectations on Asian females is a reason behind the low numbers?
If she could quantify that, it would be good. The only reason I say that is there are no... What does she mean by cultural expectations?
I suppose it's the same way that we said as an expectation from when we were brought up is to go school, uni, and go down a specific path in terms of vocation.
Yeah.
In the same way, the expectation on Asian females is that they go into certain fields or sectors themselves, and policing is not one of them.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean that's true, but we need to change that culture. We need to change that mindset, without a shadow of a doubt. And you know, Asian women police officers, we've changed dress policies through the Met Police Hindu Association. You know, and there's a girl yesterday. I was with her yesterday doing a recruitment video on behalf of the new recruits, and she was at training school and she had a bindi on her head, and the trainer said, "Take that thing off." She challenged it, and Met Police Hindu Association challenged it, and now we've changed her dress policy. So she can wear a bindi at work. So can I. You can wear the Mangalsutra at work. You can wear the nose pierce at work, everything. Because, you know, unless we change things, unless we change mindsets, you're not going to change it. And that's up to us. That's up to the youngsters and future generation of changing that mindset. You know.
And then Thomas has got another question. I'm not sure whether this is something that you'll be able to answer at the
Do
moment.
you think cyber public services became privatised? Yeah, I've just seen that. I wouldn't have a clue. Would it be privatised? Don't know. We were just discussing
that's a whole
about
different can of worms, though,
it
as well,
is.
isn't it?
It is. We were talking about privatisation. I've been watching The Crown at the moment, and obviously Maggie Thatcher's on there at the moment, and my family were talking about privatisation because I said I think she'd done a good thing for the country, and then they both threw me down and said she privatised everything, and it's all the country's bad. So I don't know. Is it time to privatise it? Who's going to run it?
Let us know in the comments.
Without criticising G4S in any way, shape, or form, but the Olympics, you know, just giving an example. So if it's just giving an example without criticising them, it's just giving an example of privatisation. You know.
No, which is absolutely fair.
And I apologise for anyone who drinks, who works for G4S.
Bob.
So Resh has just come back and said cooking, cleaning, housewife. I think that's
before we go too far, I have to let you know that Resh is my wife, so she's not trying to be offensive.
Absolutely no problem at all. But Resh, I think we've got away from that a long time ago. Certainly in society, I know some religions, and I think you're probably right. Some religions do think that a woman's place is in the kitchen, but I think we've moved away from that. We've moved away from, and we've definitely moved away from that. I think you're the young generation. That's the thing about with HinduDad. You guys are the young generation. You need to instill that and change the mindset. You know, I mean, I'm 50. I'm mid 50s now. So my parents were off the old generation. My in-laws were off the old generation. We need to change. We need to change the mindset of society.
Just before we go into this question, because that's a good question that I would like to answer.
Well, I think it kind of rolls off this question, right? So,
but what was your parents' reaction to you wanting to become a police officer? Yeah,
my mum hated it. My mum did not want me to go down there. But mum, you know, mums are mums. You know, son, I'm going to worry about my son. My dad was, very proud. See, you know, and he was quite happy. He wanted me to be a police officer.
Which is
that got me that bad.
Yeah, to be honest, that got me because I wasn't expecting your reaction, but like also the thought that your dad would have encouraged you to go into that role is not something I was expecting as an answer either.
No, he was. I mean, to be honest with you, I always wanted to be a police officer. When I was younger, I couldn't hold a job, so my destiny was a job. I went from job to job to job. And
so we didn't even have to ask the question, Barvish, because you
I know. My daughter's got mommy issues as well. I know the question was coming. So, you know, when I was younger, I went from job to job to job, and I couldn't hold a job down. And my dad used to wake me up saying, "You're not going to work today." I said, "No, Dad, I've got a day off." Actually, I've been kicked out of the job.
This sounds like Bavish's kind of thing.
Did you get a few slaps for that as well when you found out you weren't in a job?
Of course. And then I said I want to be a police officer, and he used to work in the post office, so I took the post office exam, which was an aptitude, maths, and English test, and I passed it. And Dad, I've been accepted in the police, and he goes, "That's really good." You know, Mum didn't want me to do it, but Dad, and you know, he came to the passing out parade, and he was very proud. You know.
Oh, fair play. And then to move on to that question, I think, Bob, let's hear your answer first. I'm pretty sure we're on the same page, but
well, I think we've had this conversation already once or twice before, because it's a conversation we think about all the time. Because even though our kids have just been born, you're still thinking about their education from day one. You know, yes, the first thing is obviously going nursery, going to school, etc. Of course, you want them to go through that. Whether they go in private school, state school, you got to go through all that kind of palaver as well for the next few years, deciding what you want to do. But them going to university is not the be all and end all. And I wouldn't pressure them into doing it. And especially if these prices keep going up and up and up, because actually you're going to go to university, you're going to come out with a debt, or I'm going to pay 60, 70 grand towards for you to go to university. Actually, if I was to give you that 60, 70,000 pound, would you be able to make something better of your life with that money in your pocket, actually, rather than going to university, doing a degree? Okay, look, if you want to be a doctor, you want to be...
Police officer, man, come on. Change the mindset. Come on.
If they want to be a police officer, there's no problem, right? But, you know, if they want to go and be a doctor, dentist, pharmacist, you know, anything where they're actually
Have an
helping
interest.
the greater good. Well, something that they're doing for the greater good, and something where they're not going to come out of university and struggle to get a job, right? You might not be able to pay that debt off, but actually you're going into a more stable job than you would with other degrees, and you're actually helping people. So actually, I wouldn't be too bothered about them going down that route. But if they turn around and say, "Dad, actually, no, I don't want to go to university. I want to go and start my own business. I want to do X, Y, and Z." Then here's that money that I want to put into your education. Here you go, and go do what you need to do. But you just have to support them through it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like for me, it's more the fact that I would encourage my child to have life skills. In the same way that, you sent your son Dibs to the cadets, I went to the scouts. There's certain things that I gained from it. I didn't understand it at the time, but as I've grown to appreciate those experiences that I got at a young age. And obviously, like I said, I didn't necessarily want to experience it at the time, but the fact is, it's those life experiences that have made me the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And going further from that, I don't think that I would be bothered at all if my son, daughter in the future, whichever, didn't go to uni and decided to go into work or a vocation, because the fact is, I went to uni. I was in university for 5 years. I did a HND and then I topped it up to a degree. At that whole period of time, I was working at university. I excelled a lot better in my work life than I did in my study. Do you know what I mean? From that point, I started to realize that I'm a hands-on person, I'm a practical person. The theory of it doesn't really excite me. So the fact is, ever since I left university, through life experience and my own life experiences, I've been able to mold my own career path and shape what that looks like. And for me, I've always known that I want to have some sort of a product on sale so that I have money coming in while I sleep. I wanted to have a day job so that I've got money that comes in where I'm working for. And then I wanted to have something that I do just for passion and fun, because what's life without any passion and fun?
True. Absolutely. On my personal, just to answer, not on the same side of thing, I never went to university. I was going to be a police officer, so I left school, went to the YTS youth training scheme for those my age amongst us, and then I joined the thing. But obviously, I've realised now that I'm coming to an area where I'm going to retire soon, need to develop myself in order to get a job afterwards. So I've gone out and got doing a master's degree just to personally develop myself. So you can still do things while you're a police officer in order to get a degree, etc. And there's loads. I mean, obviously the new degree scheme, I'm going to keep plugging it, guys. I'm really sorry, but the new degree scheme will give you that, and you can still excel with a master's. And obviously the direct entry degree program, the DHEP, is a diploma. So it's like it's a level 7 master's. So you get a level 7 grade master's out of it.
So it seems like the comments is going into a certain theme here. And
yeah, I've seen the shift work side of it. Yes, yeah, I've just seen that.
So
just on that, yes, there is shift work. At the moment, for your direct entry, you won't do shift work for the first 6 to 8 months. Or certainly for the first 6 months, you won't do shift work. But when we're now taking on, in order to, whether this is positive discrimination or not, but in order to get more women in the police, we're now taking on part-time officers as well. So if you want to be a police officer, you could be a part-time police officer, get paid as a part-time. If you've got children, etc., childcare, you can work around that with your part-time career. It's just an option for Priya and Priyanka, who have just quoted that. But shift work's always going to be there, and being a doctor, being a nurse, it's shift work.
Yeah, and obviously, for you, let's take you back a few years now. So when your kids were young, you said you missed a lot of the younger years and them growing up and things like that. Obviously, that would have been down to shift work and the patterns you were working. But how did you guys adjust to life like that?
Thanks to my wife. To be honest, with you. My wife been a
how did you adjust to life, but what kind of complications would it bring into the relationship?
I think she was happy not seeing me, to be honest with you. And even now with networking, she doesn't see me, she's happy. And I always say happy wife, happy life as to my life. No,
we need to cross that networking thing here, because
we will do in a minute. We will do in a minute. Now, to be honest with you, there was shift work, there was early, late and nights, so we managed it, And when she went back to work, she asked me to work, take 1 day off a week. And this is how policing has changed over years. So when my son was born in 2004, policing had changed, flexible working had come in. So I took every Wednesday off. And then she would go to work every Wednesday. So I'll be working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll be off Wednesday looking after picking the kids up, etc., and things like that. You have to work together, and we've all got busy lives. And at the moment, with the jobs that you do, we've all got busy lives. But you've just got to manage and work it together as a family.
Well, the thing is, we're working on the opposite end of the scale right now because, for example, both Bob and I are working from home. We're both in the first couple of months with our children. And the fact is, we can't hardly get anything done at home because we're always floating around the kids, or you hear them cry, then you go and running. Because you're there, you're able to deal with a distraction, or you're able to go and give the help that you need to, right? But the fact is that traditionally, before this year, most men have never had that opportunity.
Absolutely. And we've reversed roles. I never saw my daughter's first year, but you guys have seen your kids' first years, and and you will do for the next, I don't know, 3-4 months, depending on.
And I question whether, as a male, I'd want to go back to a 2-week paternity leave.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The fact is that it's if I'd have had a 2-week paternity leave, and then I had to go back and do my job full time. Thankfully, I've got one of the greatest business partners that I could ever ask for, right? But if I wasn't in the position that I'm in now, then I don't know how we would have coped. And the funniest thing is, we live with my mum and dad, so we have their help. All of people that don't have that support in the home, I don't even know how they're struggling through it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even have a house, and they live in a flat during COVID, and it's a lot. I think this is a very unusual year, so let's kick it out of the way and start on 2021 and move on, really.
Yeah, I think we're all looking for a nice welcome, couple of parties, a few networking events of our own.
Absolutely. I'll just comment on Priya Jet was commenting about never interested in being a Bobby. We do direct entry detectives now, Priya, so you can join.
There you go.
You can become a detective straight away, but you still have to do shift work, unfortunately. But with your experience, you'll only do shift work for about a year, and they'll take you away, and you could do other things, But you have to put up with the first year on shift work. Certainly for the first 6 months, you don't do shift work. You're 9 to 5.
So realistically, then what you're saying is that there's a 6-month period within your first year where you'd be in where you're forced to do the shifts.
It's your training.
Thereafter.
It's your training. It's your training now. So now the training is 9 to 5 for the first 6 months, or the first 17 weeks while you're at university, and then obviously you go to your PCU and you're still doing a 16-week, 8 to 16-week training there. So it's all nice. There's a couple of shift works because you've got to get used to doing that shift work. So you do night duty, you go out with the response teams, etc. Just to get you used to it. And you'd be surprised. Shift work sometimes is beneficial because you do 4 days on, 4 days off. Mm-hmm. So work-life balance sometimes is very good. You see, so shift work is not as bad as people think. And on night duty,
you might end up selling this on to Reshma as well, and then I'll be in trouble.
Well, there you go, Reshma. You're more than welcome to join.
It looks like if you're putting the recruitment out there, you're gonna have to put in a good word for all these people that want to join. So
just give them my name. Just give them my name. I know people in recruitment, and they're just, as long as they pass the fitness and the medical and things like that, we'll be all right. I'll help them through the interview.
Fitness exam.
Fitness. He was gonna say fitness exam.
Yeah.
I'm out. Take me out of that. Sorry.
Complete test.
Yeah, I'm out.
Arvish doesn't do exercise.
I was going to say, no way. I'm out of that one. Not for me.
Right, Bob. Let's go back to the questions. I know we had one or two other things that were sent through. Have you got them up?
Yeah. So I've got one here. We kind of crossed it slightly, but it says, what were your parents like growing up, and how has it changed to the way you brought up your children? If there are any differences, what were they, and why do you think it changed?
That's a good question. My parents, well, my father was very strict, and you know that at the end of the day. So very strict, used to slap me about. Caught me smoking, slapped me about, slapped my older brother, but slapped me. We all got slaps. Our whole family got slapped at the end of the day. It was strict. And there is a great saying that you always treat your children the way your father treated you. And I like to think that I haven't treated my kids like that. I might have slapped him a couple of times when they were younger, but that's about it. Recently, I can't slap Devon now anyway because he's twice the size of me, and he'll probably beat me up. Although my daughter's a lot smaller than me, so I might be right with her, but she beats me up as well.
The small ones are the ones you have to look after.
100%. No, but I think, you know what, Dad instilled discipline. I think he made me the way we are today. Yeah, so
no, definitely. I think like one thing about growing up as a Hindu, like there's been levels of discipline instilled in us from generations before us that, you know,
yeah,
it's almost a dying breed.
Yeah, I mean, mum played the role obviously because mum kept the family together, cooked the food. I mean, and obviously going back to Reshi's thing about the wife in the kitchen. Them days in that era, it was the wife in the kitchen. My mum got married at a young age, you know, disowned by my dad's sisters, etc. Made her a stronger woman. You see, and I think that just helped her in life and kept the family unit, you know, and brought us up the way we are.
And this is it. And then, like, part of everything that we're doing and the whole reason for the HinduDad platform is to say, look, there's so many things that were different back in the old days, but we're not living in those days anymore. Things have changed so much.
Society has changed.
Society, technology, the way we live our lives and the way we interact with everyone as well. And, you know,
100%.
that means that our mindset, our outlook and our perspective has to change as well, right?
Yep. And the future will
change.
We had this conversation.
If we don't change it, no one else is going to, you know, we have to be the ones to start it off.
Yeah, we have to be the change.
I mean, we had this Shane Cook's conversation the other day about electric vehicles. In 9 years' time, there'll be electric vehicles in the car. There'll be driverless vehicles, etc., like that. It's worrying, and we have to change with the times. And the mindset of a woman's place is in the kitchen is gone out the window. I think in certain countries, it's still there.
I'd get a slap.
In certain countries, it's still there. In certain religions, it's still there. You know,
absolutely.
But we need to come with the times.
And then I wanted to go back to a question on slightly earlier. So Reshma was asking, is there much diversity in the cadets?
Yes, loads. And I mean, without the figures, I mean, where Devon goes as Redbridge cadets, I would say 60 to 70% are from a black and Asian minority ethnic background, without a shadow of a doubt. Harrow is one of the biggest cadets, and that's very diverse as well. So yes, there is, and you know what? It gives them. It really does.
Within the cadets as well, there's a good ratio of, you know, male and female.
Yes, 100%. In fact, a lot of young female Asians, to be honest with you, that I've seen certainly at Redbridge. There's quite a few young female Asians, which is good to see. And it does give you discipline. It does give you a good steady life, without a shadow of a doubt, 100%. You know, and it gives you social skills. And
for me, the thing is, like, when you're a kid, like, you look around you and you look at what's popular, you look at what the popular kids are doing, what they're wearing, what they're acting like, and things like that. And because you're not the popular kid at the time, you kind of imitate what you think the cool kids are doing, right? It's only later on in life where you start to realize that you are your own individual, and once you start to become once you start to believe in yourself and your own abilities and you're happy with your own self, then you can start to really, like, explore who you are and what you can offer the world, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like, what I'm trying to get to is, like, going through the cadets, going through the scouts, bringing those life experiences and skill sets into play at such a young age where they're still quite impressionable, and you make that difference is completely necessary, because if you can instill that mindset and behavior at that young an age, then you can kind of guide and mold and shape the fact to keep them on the straight line. Absolutely.
And it makes them a good person when they're older.
Yeah.
You know, without a shadow of a doubt. There's certainly a couple of senior officers within the Met Police who were cadets.
Yeah.
There's an assistant commissioner who was a cadet. So, you know, if Devon wants to go down that route, I'm sure he'll make a very good police officer, but it's down to him at the end of the day.
So I've got another question from Thomas, and this is quite a good one because I think this is something we wanted to cross as well. So did you see much racism inside the forces when you first joined?
I'll be honest with you, Thomas, I've never experienced any racism within the police force, personally. Not overt. You know, no one's ever been racist or called me the derogatory terms or anything like that. And it's probably because I'm the kind of person I am. I get on with everyone. So I've never seen any.
I thought you was going to say because I'll give it back.
Yeah, well, not quite. But personally, no. And at the end of the day, we're a disciplined organisation. We have values in the police where you've got to treat everyone equally and respect each other, and that's what we've got to instill in all our police officers. So no, the only time I got racism was from a couple of Asian boys in Walthamstow. I was just basically walking down the street in Walthamstow, and 3 Asian boys come up and say, "Oi." I won't say the word, but it's the P word. And he said pig as well, obviously. You like that word, so he said pig. And he goes. So
like watching Peppa Pig.
That's probably because you look like him.
Yeah.
And he goes. And they go, "Oi, why are you doing a white man's job? Why are you doing why are you coconut? Why are you doing a white man's job? Because obviously." Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and this is why we need to change it. Even to 50s, 60s, 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was a white man's job. It was very rarely a diverse thing. And London has over 270 different diverse population, 270 different nationalities in London. And we need to represent that as much as we can. So that's the only time I got racism. So I'll be honest with you, I've never experienced it overtly in my career.
Did you get did you feel that there was any type of racism in the roles you were going for, and you may have not got them at an earlier stage in life, or you didn't get a job that you wanted because of?
Well, there's one job. There's one job I didn't get because, and I'm not going to say it was racism, and they probably done it because I was Asian, and it was an American job. It was a liaison job in Birmingham, Alabama. So if you know America. Deep South Alabama.
Deep South.
Okay. Now in the back of the vans, they've got N words out, etc., and this thing. And there was 2 of us. So there's a paper process, application process. 2 of us went for interview. The English sergeant and me. And at the end of it, I knew it was a liaison role. It wasn't an investigation role. They said I didn't get it because I didn't have enough investigation experience. Mm-hmm. And I know I didn't get it because personally I think I didn't get it because I was Asian. But they're never going to say that, and they're not going to be outward in saying that because it never. And that happens in any job. That happens in any walk of life.
No, it does. It definitely does. But we thought, see how.
And just on, and this is before I joined the police. And my daughter's just reminding me. When I was younger, I was applying for jobs, and I phoned up and I said I'm applying for this job, and they said, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "Oh, Dibs Dattani." No, that's good. Yeah, come in for an interview. I turn up, and no word of a lie, the guy said, "You're Asian." I said, well, yes. He goes, "Well, Dattani's an Italian name. We thought you were Italian." So in a way, that's a form of racism, to be honest with you. but that's honest truth. But no,
It's as funny you say that because even when we were deciding my son's name, we wanted something slightly traditional, but something quite modern and Western as well, right? We chose the name Jaden because you've got Jai, which is J, and then Jaden is still quite accepted in the Western culture.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we did that consciously with the same thought in mind.
I think we all did. I did when we had kids, we done exactly the same thing. Parol and I went through names, and I thought, what are we going to call them? And it is. You always think about the stigma when they go to school or what they go through. So we came up with the name Karishma and Devon. Devon obviously will be Dev. Karishma could be shortened for whatever, really. I mean, Krish, Karishma, or Charisma, as some people call her.
I bet she's got plenty of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes. But honestly, I think every parent goes through that without a shadow of a doubt. Although I know my sister's on the call at the moment, and then she had a hand in. Well, she's supposed to have a hand in choosing the name, but we told her what the name was. So
we did the same in ours.
Yeah,
we said, "Here's 2 names. This is the one that we want."
Exactly.
Yeah, just name it. But on that subject, right? Because obviously, look, times have changed. Everything's been relaxed. Another question we did get was, do you see yourself as being those traditional parents and that traditional dad and giving your kids those traditional values? And do you think it stops there, or do you think they'll still pass those on? The values that you had got from your parents in terms of tradition, culture,
Yeah, I
And I
think
think there's a slight swing to this as well, and that is with your vocation and walk in life. Have you done things differently because of that?
no, I don't think I've done anything differently because of my vocation or my life. No, I don't think that. Traditional culture. We talk about religion. I mean, I'm not that. I'm not. I mean, I'm not that. Barrel's very religious, and we take the kids to the temple on the days that we need to go. We follow Diwali. We follow all the traditions and things like that. So yes, we do follow that. Will they carry it on? I would like to think so, but again, society is changing. I think we've got to change the mindset to a certain level and move away from 40, 50, 60 years ago and look at the mindset. So society will be very different in 15, 20 years time when they're parents. When they're parents, it's going to be very different to what you are. By that time, you may be grandparents, whatever, but it'll be very, very different.
I hope not.
That's a bit early.
I'll be a granddad by then, but although some people do still call me dad at the moment in the MPHA, but it's probably because I'm old and the grey hair.
Oh no, you're not that old. You're still young. Yeah, we all have to be. I mean, to be fair, like even for me though, right? I'm the first one to put my hands up and say I'm not very religious. I've never really followed the religion in terms of understanding it very closely. But the fact is, now that I've got Jaden here, I feel like I'm obliged to learn at least so that I can pass on and answer the questions that he might throw around in the future.
Absolutely.
Because the one thing that upsets me is that in my lifetime, we've had to do things under instruction, and the instruction is you do it because we do it, and that is it. And all I want is the definition of why. That's
the issue. You hit it right on the head because when I was growing up, we couldn't buy shoes. We couldn't wash your hair on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? And the answer is because we were told. That's it.
Yeah. We still don't know the answers.
We still don't know the answers because we just carry on doing it. Because no one knows the answer because of tradition.
It's like don't cut your nails after 6 because it's dark.
Correct.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Because in India they don't have electricity, but we do.
Yeah. That's the answer to your question, though, and it's all about tradition. If we follow that on, and my daughter Karishma doesn't wash her hair on a Wednesday.
Really?
No, because she thinks something bad will happen to my son Devon, and that's been instilled in her. So throughout her life, she won't be doing that.
So in the future, when she's pregnant with her first child, is she not going to wash her hair for the pregnancy?
No. I wouldn't think so. If that's the tradition, then the answer is no. She won't.
But we that one we figured out the answer. That one we got to. But the ones that we honestly, and if anyone does know the answers, is why can't if a girl washes it, if she has a brother, she can't wash her hair on a Wednesday.
Or they can't separate on a Wednesday or whatever as well. That's the other thing. Isn't it?
Yeah, and you can't buy shoes. Well, we know one. We're not allowed to buy shoes on a Saturday.
Okay.
Right. I think that was someone out there to save money. I don't care what that is.
That's someone that didn't want to go shopping on a Saturday, bro.
That's correct.
That was according to Dillimama, God bless his soul. But that was according to Dillimama. You can't buy shoes on a Saturday. I'm thinking like...
Yeah, I think that's down to, Monday to Friday back then, right? Yeah, people working, right? So they can't get to the shop anyway. Sundays, shops didn't open, right? Saturday was the only day. So if they said, look, you can't buy them on Saturday, people can't buy them full stop, right? I think that's the reason. That's what I'm going with on that one.
But to answer your question, I think you've just answered your question. We will always pass the tradition on in that sense because that's what we believe in. You see, and that's. She's going to give me another question now. She keeps coming in here.
You should get her to pull up a chair.
She just, in fact, she just said she just come up and said, "You don't know me at all. I don't wash my hair because it upsets Mum. I wash my hair. I don't wash my hair on the She did make a good suggestion. You should have Hindu kids
as
a show. Hindu kids.
So it's on the way.
Just to get their view.
What I've done is developed HinduDad, which is initially Jaden and the clothing and things like that. Obviously, as they grow older, it's something that we improve. But the fact of the matter is, like, HinduDad, as I said to you, is just a platform for us to have a conversation.
Absolutely. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
As much, like, get her in touch with us. I'd love to do the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. She talks rubbish like me as well, so she'll be all right. Don't worry.
Well, the fact is, a female voice is just as important in what I'm trying to deliver here as the male perspective.
You should know a female voice is the most important one in any relationship. Let's be honest.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. The words just not coming out.
He was trying to say that, but he couldn't get the words out.
Hey, I'm a wise old man now, I can assure you.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Like, with these greys come great wisdom.
Yeah, all the stress of being a dad.
Yeah, they're definitely coming through. I mean, do you know what? When I got married, right, this was all black. I've got pictures that prove it and everything. And now I've just got greys everywhere in this beard and on the top up here. So she keeps telling me to dye it. And I said, no, I'm just going to go gracefully.
No,
don't do it. Silver fox, mate.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I said to her. I'll do it gracefully, mate. I'll take them all.
Yeah, mine's proper grey now. That's it. Let's leave it at that.
I think
we weren't going to cover the networking thing, but I think we're probably running out of time now. But
I mean, if you're all right for another 10, 15, we're all right.
I'm not going anywhere. Got nothing else to do, have I?
Yeah.
Apart from go to bed.
So no, yeah, like let's go on to the networking subject.
What do you want? Well, so over the last sort of, I've made some really good friends, and over the last 10 years, I would say, I'm out every Tuesday night. Yeah, at the Tower of London. Great night, Ceremony Keys. I'll get you guys there. Bavish has done it. I'll get you there one day.
When you say you're out every Tuesday night, that's not going on currently, is it?
No, not now. Not since March. I've not done it since March because they haven't had it. No, not at all. Before March.
This is why he's got so much to talk about, because he's been stuck indoors since March.
Exactly. Yeah, well said. Exactly. You're right there. I love talking. No, but I obviously get invited to a lot of events, functions, etc. like that. And Barra always says, "Are you going to go out and get drunk?" I said, "No, it's networking. Without networking, it's the best way." Because I like to talk and I get to meet a lot of people. And the plan is obviously when I get my retired, I can obviously, hopefully, when I get to know these people, ring them and say, "Hey guys, I'm in for a job. Anything you got for me?" or things like that. And it's all about getting to know people. It's life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
You will not. If you go with that philosophy, you won't go wrong. It's not what you know, so you know. But always reciprocate at the end of the day. And that's, I like Bavish, who just keeps ringing me for things. Just reciprocate sometimes. only
tickets for Liverpool games. That's the only thing I need you for.
I know,
other than that,
don't give him that. We're fine if he's unhappy about that.
No, I'm a Liverpool fan as well, man. I need someone to take drive sometimes.
Yeah, it's normally that. I'll take the train.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's I've just been lucky, and it's. COVID has annoyed me. I mean, COVID's been good for me in a way because it's helped me finish my masters off. But then the other thing is I love, going out, networking and things like that. And it's just been miserable, No,
it has. It's been very difficult because obviously, like you say, where you're someone that's quite social, you're used to going out and having that weekly time. And then that's been taken away from you completely. With no sign as to when you can recommence that. It's extremely difficult, not just for you as what you're going through, but the mental load and capacity where you normally go and have that conversation as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, you got to have a support as well. You've got to have a support of your wife, to do it without a shadow of a doubt.
The support of your wife to go and network. It's not going out for a social.
Correct.
It's networking.
Network, correct.
I told my wife about this the other day and she just laughed.
I'm just reading Thomas Wood's question there, so if you don't mind taking over, but do you ever still go on the beat? The answer is no. I haven't been on the beat for 10 years, probably 12 years now. Obviously been international liaison and then doing this recruitment side. So no, I haven't been on the beat for that long. I've done my time, I think, the way I see it.
I was going to say, would you like to go back?
No, I wouldn't. But you know what? Policing's changed a hell of a lot nowadays as well.
Do you miss the adrenaline from it?
No, I still get the adrenaline. To be honest with you, I still love going into work every day.
But the adrenaline of being out and about on the street, something can happen at any time.
100%. Driving from call to call, yes, I do miss the adrenaline. But to be honest, my day at the moment, not so much at the moment because of the COVID thing, but if I go into work, after COVID, your day's always different. You just do not know. And I'll give you an example of this. And Bavish's sister's wedding, don't know what it was now, forgive me. No, it was 2007. No, it was 2007?
2007?
No, 2014.
Keep going. 2011.
11, okay, fine. All right, so 2011, Bavish's sister got married schedule, okay? And Breivik happened, Norway. You know, the attack on Utøya Island? Yeah. It was my birthday. I was in counter-terrorism at the time. It was my birthday. And they kindly laid on a birthday cake for me. Yeah. But as you know, I go to work, something could happen, and I've got to stay there. And I've done all-nighters, you know, and that's the good thing. I still, if I have to stay at work, I'll stay at work, you know, because you've got to get the job done. And I think that's the mentality, certainly with Asians, and that's what we do. We get the job done. You know, if someone wants you to 100%. Stay. And this is why, even if you look at COVID and the disproportionality of BAME officers dying, etc., like that, it's because we're always at the front line. We never say no. You know, and that's one of the things. But yeah, I do miss it. Yeah, 100%. 100%, I do miss it.
If there was one part of your career that you could go back to and revisit for a couple of weeks, what part would it be?
Oh, international policing.
Is there anywhere particular in the world that you would like to be positioned for that 2 week as well?
America. Love America.
Why?
You know what? I think I've met a lot of American people. I just love the whole ethos of America. It's a free.
I hear you almost missed the wedding as well.
I did almost miss the wedding. Yes. But I was there for that, Sergio. I almost miss it for you. I did. Well, I mean, that obviously happened, and obviously we done an overnighter, and they laid on a cake, and I felt really bad because I wasn't there. And I think they FaceTimed me.
We still ate the cake. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. No, I would love to do a liaison officer in America. I think that's what I would. If someone gave me that option now, I'd do it tomorrow without a shadow of a doubt. You know, I think it's just because I've been, and again, I get invited to the Ambassador's July the 4th party every year, which is great. And Parallel comes with us, and it's just, you know, I've had a really good life without a shadow of a doubt, for the last 10 years. I couldn't complain. And policing is not all about going on the beat. There's different varieties of policing. You know, you can go forensic computing, exploitation of digital materials. You can go dogs if you like dogs, horses if you like horses. It's variety. CID. You know, you can do whatever you want. You know, it's not just
varied.
Very varied.
We just need to get people in the front door, right?
And you'll never. Well, that's it. I mean, people have the courage to do that as well. You know, and you'll never get bored. You will never get bored in policing because every day is different.
Yeah.
And what I didn't add is that you get free travel as well. There you go.
If you're a Londoner, that's certainly
if you're a London, yeah. You're going to save a lot of money. And for the last 25 years, you know, when I retire, I'm going to pay for travel. It's something I haven't done for a long time. And I'm thinking,
did they not give you that as part of your package? Like,
no,
I
wish.
Travel card?
No, not
so, at all. How do you feel about the freedom pass being taken away?
I was saying this to Barrel earlier today, and I said, I hope they reduce it to like 55 and I can have it in 2 years' time.
They're looking to get rid of it altogether.
You know what? It is. They're getting rid of a lot of things, don't they, really? I think we've got to save money, and it is what it is. Hopefully just get my new job and hopefully put a package for travel in it. That's the plan.
Or just start cycling everywhere. That seems to be the next best thing at the moment.
Don't trust the roads. I don't trust other road users.
Cycle lanes everywhere.
Well, yeah, but even that doesn't matter.
Have you ever driven in central London, Bob?
Yeah.
They're not cycle lanes in central London.
Loads in central London.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. As a cyclist in central London, it's almost like a death wish.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but a lot of roads are separating them now. I know we're going off topic, but they are separating the roads now as well. I'm not advocate for cyclists, but at the same time, it's a good way to keep up the exercise, mate. You know.
I could see Thomas wants to ask more questions. Feel free, Thomas. I mean, I'm not in no hurry. As long as these guys aren't in no hurry. You seem interested.
No, I'm all good. Tom. So basically, I met Tom a few years ago on the vape circuit. We've become very good friends since then. Obviously, he became a father a few years ago, and he joined us when we did our first live stream. Great friend, brilliant supporter, and I've got to say, I'm really proud of him.
We've lost him. Hello? We lost him.
Jay, you disappeared.
He's gone.
Either he needs to pay for his internet.
He's probably vaping.
Well, even though he needs to pay for his internet. Something's gone wrong there.
Put the 50p in. Put the 50p in.
Come on.
I put it in. I pressed the wrong button on the keyboard by accident. I shouldn't have it on my lap, really. No, but I was going to say, like, you know, I've seen this guy go through leaps and bounds, and to see where he is today is just amazing. So well done, Tom.
Good. Did you used to smoke, by the way?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why'd you say that?
Because you vape. So I was just trying to work out most people who vape now.
Do you know what it was? It was an occupational hazard. Like, I got into the vape scene. I went to one of the first trade shows in the UK at Birmingham NEC, and it was just when I started doing film production and film work. I had the audacity to go on stage with a camera, and at that point there was nobody there filming on stage. And then when I did a little video from it, the event organizers got in contact with me and were like, listen, that looks great, you're hired. And we've kept the contract ever since. But again, occupational hazard, to stay relevant in the industry, I had to learn about it.
I suppose so. That's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Which is why I'm also in the CBD industry. So
I don't know whether I agree with Roberts there saying vape is better than smoking, but I don't know enough about it. So
well, see, I'd love to have this debate with you, like we did the other day, but it's completely off topic as well.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I used to smoke.
What I will say is, if you do know anyone that does smoke and they want to get off the fags, then to get them to get in contact with me at HinduDad or at Project Fresh. Both my
brothers vape, so I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, Project Fresh is something that I built this time last year, to be honest, with collaboration with vape manufacturers and the trade show. And all it is a platform where we speak to different people about how much vaping has changed their lives. Because, do you know what? As far-fetched as this is from our subject, I think it needs to be said because of the fact that we've got this a wider format of viewers. If you do know people that are smoking and you want to get them off the fags, because at the moment, people smoking in closed-off environments and with young children is probably the worst time as well, right? Because you're always stuck within the same confines. Vaping is a minimum 95% safer alternative for your body than smoking is.
Or the other option is what I did: get hypnotized and give up.
Did that work? I've spoken to people where that's worked, and then I've spoken to people that it hasn't worked for at all. So
just to bring it back to the HinduDad side of it, I used to smoke probably 20, 30 fags a day. My daughter was 7, and she said to me, "Dad, it's about time you gave up smoking." Mm-hmm. The next day, I went to my doctor, got a leaflet, and within a week, I got hypnotized. Within 2 weeks, I got hypnotized, and I haven't touched a cigarette since.
You're kidding?
And that was.
But did you take up another addiction to separate from that?
Not at all. Well, probably drinking. Yeah. I used to drink anyway, but that was 14 years ago. So, I've not.
Do you drink more now?
Not over COVID. I don't drink at home. I've never drunk at home, and that's a good thing. If I go out, I drink a lot, but I've never drunk at home. Unless I'm socialising, just to thing. But no, 14 years, and
she gave you an ultimatum. She said, "I want a phone if you don't."
I was asked to buy a phone. Yeah, but that wasn't the reason. I wanted to give up smoking, and without a shadow.
No, but fair play. Like, at the end of the day, you know what? As new parents, there's a lot of COVID babies coming out now as well. And if these people are smoking and they need a hand, then please reach out to me. There is a whole network of people that I've worked with and continue to work with that are more than willing to help you. And even if that is information, advice, or getting you a starter kit, reach out to us and let us know how we can help.
Yeah, that's good. Thomas got no more questions then?
Yeah, it looks like it's got silent.
Vaping is allowed in prisons.
It probably is, as it goes. They get a lot of things in prisons, let's put it that way.
Well, that's a completely different.
That's another different story as well.
Yeah, I know. Some of them get Sky TV and all sorts, don't they?
Yeah. But if I on a closing note, I'll finish it off. But honestly, the recruitment guys, it is a good program. You've got the degree at the age of 18, A levels, level 4 or above, and you can come in at the age of 18, be a police officer, do 3 years, and then you're on the streets. Or if you've got a degree, then it's a direct entry for a degree. That's 2 years, £31,000. Can't be that bad.
And
if you're interested,
if there's a way that anyone watching the show, or if they've got any questions or wanted to get in touch with you, is there a platform where they can reach you at?
We've got my email address. Give my email address. I haven't got a problem with that. Got questions?
Yep. Cool.
That's fine. Or if they want more information, go to the Met Police career site, which is scrolling at the bottom for those people who haven't seen it. But I'll say I'm happy for you to give them my personal email address if they want to.
Just pop that. If you pop that in as a comment, then that will go onto the feed as well. And then
private chat or just a comment? How do I add a comment?
Just the normal comments.
Now you're taking up 50 years old. You're going to ask me to make a comment on this thing, are you? Tell you what, I'll do it another way.
Get your daughter to do it.
No, I'm going to give it to you, and you can do it. There you go. Next on the private chat.
Gotcha.
But no, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, it's been a pleasure and an insight for us as well. And again, I'd like to thank you for your time and for coming on the show. It's definitely been something that's opened a few eyes for a lot of people. And again, like we say, if you've got any questions, you can look at.
Thomas is asking a question. Did you have the office role? Lol.
He's opening a can of worms that we're not going to go down. You understand what he's asking, don't you?
Yeah. To be honest with you, Thomas, the answer is yes. Obviously, we have got various associations who will support you around that. So the answer is probably yes. I'm sure we have.
And to be honest, Thomas would be a really good addition to the force. He's got a good following. He's got responsibilities, commitments, and a need to bring that income in.
But do you know what? The direct entry, I mean, just to touch on that, and I do go back to direct entry DCs that we've had. Some of them have worked in like top law firms in London, and they've joined the police. So it's not. And when I asked them why, and I said it's variety. It's different. We're not doing the same thing every day. We're not doing figures every day. I'm doing something different every day. I'm going to investigate a GBH or a murder or something like that. It's just the variety. And I look at them, I think, why? They're probably getting paid. Going back to Thomas's thing about wages, they were probably getting paid double what they're getting paid now. But they weren't happy in their jobs.
Well, this is it.
You know,
you need variety in your day-to-day life now.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and you know, you guys have always got the same job, and solicitor, etc. You're still doing the same job every day, conveyancing. That's all you're doing.
I'll tell you what, I'll take my job every day over Bhavish's job.
I don't even know what Bhavish does, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the whole. Dude, we're going to be here for another hour if we start talking about that now.
Give us a brief synopsis, like the cigarette packet synopsis.
I can't give it live on air. You have to ask me privately what I do.
Office manager.
Yeah, but what does the role entail is the question, right? We can be here for ages talking about it. He
opens and shuts the doors. That's what I've been told.
Yeah,
got a lot of free time during the day.
Basically, during the day, nothing to do. But look, you have to. If you're going to join, you know, any job, take on any job, make sure you are enjoying it.
You've got to, 100%.
Otherwise, you're going to be bored in 5 years, 6 years. You're going to be like, well, what's the point?
And that's a bit of advice. You are going to get bored because we've all got to work for the rest of unless you become a millionaire overnight. We've got to work for the rest of our careers, for the rest of our lives, haven't we? Really? And we all do it because we want to support our children, and that's the biggest thing. We're there to do. I've given my kids every opportunity in life. You know, tuition if they want it, because they can't throw it back at me. I said, Dad, you never let me do that. So you give them every opportunity, and you know, even if if I forsake a holiday in order to do it, I'll do it. That's fine. Just give them every opportunity. And obviously, you mentioned the discussion about private or state school, etc. It's another debate, and it's whether they get it. My daughter went to a grammar school; she done very well. My son currently going to a state school; he's doing very well. It's all depends on the child itself. Yeah. The school will only teach you so much. If the child wants to work or be educated, they will do that. They will put in the work, and that's the thing. And that's what I say to my kids when they were younger. Do a couple of hours studying when you go home in the evening. What the teachers told you, you'll do well in life. You do well in society. Yeah, and it's just thing. So we always give them out, and you're going to do it for the rest of your life. You know, unless you're like me who retires and then gets another job and carries on. But
that would be me.
You have the choice to give it up, and you want to go back into work. So
yeah, but I have to. I'm only 53. You know what I mean? What am I going to do? Borough will kick me out. We'll probably divorce if I'm at home all the time.
just go out networking. That's it.
Well, exactly. I can't do that unless I've got a job. Because it costs money to drink.
Yeah,
that's true.
Rubbish. You wouldn't know because you never buy me one. But it costs money.
No. I was going to say that to you, but you know,
I'll beat you to it.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
That being said, what's your favourite drink then?
Oh, it's changed recently. It used to be Jack Daniels. It's now blood orange gin.
You're a gin man now.
Blood orange gin, absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
The best thing ever. Yeah, it used to be Jack Daniels. I've got bottles of Jack Daniels in my house, but I now do blood orange gin.
So now you know what to get him for Christmas, Bath.
No, he never buys me a Christmas present.
Okay, he's too old for Christmas presents now.
Do you know what, though? They've got an apple Jack Daniels now. Anyone tried it?
No.
Apple Jack Daniels. I saw it the other day. Yeah, my daughter's in with tonic. And he's got to be slimline as well because I'm a bit of a fat bastard. But, oh, sorry, fatty. Apologies for the language there, please.
It's post 9 o'clock, you're all right.
Yeah, watershed's fast.
And there's no kids. Oh, no, my daughter's still in.
Right then.
Spice JD. I tried it.
No, that's quite nice. There's like that cinnamon spice to it, isn't it?
Oh, that one. Is that the fire? That's the fire. Fire, so. JD.
Fire one, yeah.
I've had that. But Fireball's better.
Yeah.
Which is like a bourbon.
So you're a spirits man rather than a beer man?
No, I like beer as well. And I do drink beer.
You can't get a belly like that drinking spirits.
Correct. Well said. Very well said.
That's someone else with experience, isn't it?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do like beer, but you know what? I think I'm becoming more of a spirits man at the moment. I can't handle my drink anymore, though. I went out a couple of weeks ago with a couple of buddies of mine, and I think we had 6 double gin and tonics. Boy, I don't remember how I got home.
Nah,
I really don't know how I got home.
That's because you're out of practice. You want to start drinking in the shed.
Correct, absolutely right. The ink stinks. But your muscle bodies always take you home, always. And I wake up saying, wallet, good, warrant card, good, mobile phone. They're all there. Thank you very much.
What's your excuse, Bath, Mr. Vodka Man?
Oh, there's a story there. Now. There's a story there, isn't there, Bath?
Oh, now you have to share.
Got to be a story.
I don't know what these people are talking about, to be honest.
Post watershed, the comment section's open. You've got a story. You've got to dish it out.
If it's come from Nikhil, there's definitely a story there.
What was this? There was a situation. It was I would probably say I was 16 at the time. So I was given alcohol by your brother. So
which one?
Your younger brother. Don't know why I was.
That surprised me.
At a Diwali event, and just ended up having a few too many, and went back to this. Was staying there, kind of on the way back, kind of made the van a bit messy. Which he had to clean up, but that's his own fault. You shouldn't give kids alcohol, right? That's a lesson to learn, right? Don't give kids alcohol.
You're baiting him out, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, don't give kids out. That's the moral of the story.
I totally agree with you, drink. I would, as a man of the law, I disencourage giving kids alcohol. I totally agree with you.
Can you give him a slap on the wrist when you next see him as well, please?
Yeah. Can I just say I like Thomas? I do like Thomas because he said don't disrespect me. I do like Thomas. He's good.
He's getting geared up for that phone call.
He's calling in that favour. That's what he's doing.
I'm sure he's not one of them men. He's a man of kids. He's got a kid.
I think Tom would be quite a good cop, you know.
Oh yeah. See, I like Nikhil. So Nikhil, my nephew, and he said,
Nick's trying to sway it up a bit now.
Yeah. Nikhil said, what he meant is, how did you get a belly by drinking vodka?
What do you mean? I've lost so much weight since I've become a father.
Yeah, looks it.
It's not the vodka that hurt him; it was the kebabs with it.
Yeah, that's late night eating. That's the worst.
And that's the worst thing about doing night shifts as a police officer, because you're eating at different times.
Actually, that's a good point. Like, what's the food situation like being a police officer? Because obviously, like, if you're out on the beat, you're out on the street. You know, you've got no fixed location.
You go to the local kebab shop. Yeah, fish and chips. If you're doing night duty, sometimes you bring your own sandwiches and things like that. And hold on, I suppose did I slap him? Hey, oh, come here. So yeah, you just eat what you can, basically. But obviously, in terms of the MPHA, the Met Police Hindu Association, we've also changed policy around that with donuts and coffee. That's very true, Priya. We've changed policy.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah, we've changed policy with canteens. So now they do vegetarian foods, which is purely vegetarian.
Yeah, again, this is quite difficult in like for the best part of the world until the last 10 years.
Yeah,
like vegetarianism hasn't been very widely accepted, and then with veganism coming into play, it's become a lot more mainstream, right?
Yeah. And we've changed policy in the Met Police through the Hindu Association. So that's the kind of things we get involved in, and changing policy around that it helps because that encourages people to join. Because you've got that. They respect cultures, they respect diversity within the Met, and I would say the Met Police is probably one of the best employers around now. We are either the largest or the second largest employers in London. In terms of respecting diversity. We've gone a hell of a long way from the times of Stephen Lawrence, which sadly, even the murder happened, and it was sad. There's a lot of changes since then that's got across society. Racism is obviously a different story, a different topic as a whole, but we as a diverse city, the Met Police is probably one of the most diverse. I could probably say that without a shadow of a doubt.
And then with the Met Police Hindu Association, like I think something that just came to mind is with the events and things that you do and the scale of operation, is there anything that the community could support you in, or certain things that you would look to the community for support if there's anyone out there that could help with that?
Yeah, come along. Just come along, give us some support, become members. It's free membership.
It's free. Support. That's all you need to know. It's free.
Well, that's a good start, isn't it? We used to charge. We used to charge £35, but it's now, we've decided it's free and join us. Obviously, when we do functions, it does cost money. So if anyone wants to do any sponsorship, hire out things like that, come and contact us, and you can do the sponsorship on behalf of of your organisation, etc. And we'll run the event for you. We're looking at a Diwali, but a dinner and dance in the new year.
Yeah.
Once everything settles down, it will be at Chigwell, which is near my house, which is even better, and that's the plan. But it is, if you want to join, it's MPHA at met.police.uk, and we'll send you an application form. It's a network. It's the network people, and if people do want to join, just talk to us. We'll help you with the recruitment and the application forms.
Great, sounds good.
That's it.
Bob, how you feeling?
Me, I'm ready to go to bed now.
Past your bedtime.
Past my bedtime now. Well, I want to get a couple of hours in before the little man wakes up.
Yeah.
And then we'll be up every 2 hours.
Tell Brianna not to be so rude, calling me I'm being donuts, because she probably eats donuts in her job as well, though.
Yeah, probably. They're not the healthiest bunch.
Oh,
it's this whole working under. Oh, it's working under pressure, right? What else can you do? Listen, those type of jobs that they have,
sugar and caffeine.
Eat at any time, eat as much whatever you can get your hands on, and you got to get back to the job.
It's true, absolutely. And that's sometimes it is. Sometimes you don't have time to eat. That's the other thing. I work a shift where I've not eaten at all, which is unhealthy.
Yeah, but that's not selling the police force, by the way.
No, but it is. That
was personal choice.
It's personal choice. You get a refreshment break for your 8 hours. But no, it is a career to have.
Okay, so I think let's call it time. So one last time, how can people reach out to you? So
you can contact me via my email, dibbled35@icloud.com. Or if you want to join the MPHA, it's mpha at met.police.uk. I'll be loath to give out my mobile numbers because people will just give me a load of weird phone calls.
Yeah, I think it's probably better if you didn't. No, but I think I want to say from both Bob and I, thank you very much for the time that you've given us this evening and in preparation for this. It's been quite an eye-opener, and we've had some great conversation through it as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Been a pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, to be honest, we'd like to get you back on the show again in the future.
Absolutely no problem at all. That's fine. That's fine.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Bob, anything else from you this week?
No. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for everyone for watching.
There's one thing I want to pull you up on.
Go on.
So Okay, so last week, what we did is we said, let's do a challenge. Let's do a dad challenge. Challenge dad. And I put this post out, and I was expecting comments, and I was expecting some stupid dares or something to come along. And lo and behold, I got one answer back. It was from Thomas. So thanks, Tom.
Strangely enough.
Appreciate it. And what his request was for us to have a shot of breast milk.
A shot of what? Breast milk. That's you two guys. I ain't got any. Crack on, boys.
But we didn't get much traction on it. So I'm going to put it out again. I'll take the breast milk challenge. We will do that, and we'll do it during the week, and we'll post it up on the social feed. But again, if there's anything you can do to name a dad challenge for something that Barv and I can do that's a little bit crazy or stupid, just a bit of fun, light-hearted banter, hit us up in the comments, send us a DM, and
I'll give you one.
Go on then.
Plank challenge.
A plank challenge.
A plank challenge. How long can you two do a plank for?
I've never tried, so
there you go.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that with the baby on our back as well?
No, I don't want to hurt the baby. I'll have to report you to the police, man. Don't be silly.
No, someone obviously holds the baby.
No, don't get involved in babies. That's rude. That's cruel.
They have to learn the fitness level from a young age.
It's to children, bro. It's abuse.
Exactly. Your wife will arrest you.
No,
she'll report you.
Yeah, exactly. Shave the beards.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, shave the beards. There you go.
There we go then, Bob. Challenge accepted. Plank it.
What? Plank or shave the beards?
Oh.
No. The beard ain't going.
You just did a challenge.
No. Challenge accepted on the plank.
Okay.
This beard's
That's fine with me.
To be honest, this beard went away in March at the beginning of lockdown, and it's taken this long to grow back.
Oh yeah. No, so my daughter's saying shave the beards and watch the baby's reaction.
So that is something that I want to do, but I'm trying to save that until we do like shave his hair for the first time, the babu.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, fair enough.
So until that point, I'm gonna grow out my hair, tie it in a bun like he will, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna shave your hair off as well,
bro. It's all going.
Yeah.
Like you know how I was in the beginning of March when like it was just bald faced Malteser.
Yeah.
That
you're gonna go with that. Okay. That will be our challenge for next year or the year after when it happens.
Well, I see you're already growing your hair anyway, so all you need is
hair's growing quite long, so that would be a good length.
I think Babish has always been vain, so let's be honest.
That's it.
He has, man. I'm surprised he's not wearing a hat today.
Nah, I'm letting the hair grow, and still manage to put gel in there. Quite a bit it takes at the moment, but
yes,
I think the hat may come out from next week. By the way,
Babish is looking for a hair product sponsor for anyone that's interested.
Anyone wants to send any? I'll test it out. No problem. Please send it over.
Plug in, like it.
That's it. Right, guys. I'm going to let you get back to your evening. Again, thank you very much.
No worries. Speak to you soon.
All right,
Take care.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.